Hey everyone, and welcome to Pa-Rellax. It's easy webinar. I am your host Yann, and today we're going to talk about parallax effects. So, a parallax effect is, let's say, a certain movement that happens upon scrolling. Okay, we also call it animation because we can simply animate it. Simple as that. So today I'll be going over normal and also complex parallax animations, as well as showing you our new 3D parallax animation. First of all, I would like to show you my website. As you all know, we're all obviously looking at the freelancer website. Okay, and we're gonna start using parallax animation there. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do, we're going to apply a normal parallax animation on certain elements. Sorry, and here we go. So I would like to concentrate on these four elements: branding, web design, web development, online marketing. Okay, and basically what I want to do is that I want to bring them from outside the layout inside the layout, meaning that I'm going to start scrolling, and when I reach out a certain level, they'll from the outside they'll appear on the inside to these exact positions. Okay. Now again, you can always go to the freelancer.weby'nar.com. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. So the first thing that I want to do is preparation. Step one is preparations. Okay. Um, Note that note all the positions of the elements that you will use to make your animation. Okay, so let's start with the four services here. So this is not group. Let me just group this. There you go. And whoops, sorry. And basically what we're going to do is to note these positions. So how do we know where these positions are? Sorry. Okay, I will go to my design panel. If I select branding, I see that the X position is 0 and the Y position is 1192. Okay, so let's see here. I created the table, okay, so I can remind myself of these positions. So I have branding, web design, web development, and online marketing. Okay, so branding is 0, 1192. Web design is 500 actually, sorry. This also needs to be, yeah, 500, 1192. This is 0, 1494. And this is 500, 1494. Okay, so now that I kind of saved this, information, I can basically move them around because at the end of the day, at the end of the when I get to that certain point, my elements will scroll to these positions. Okay, so in other words, let's say I have my starting point and my end point. Okay, my starting point is outside the layout, and my end point, okay, my end result where my elements will land at the end, will be at the previous position that they were before I added the animation. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put them back 500, and if I'm not mistaken, 1192. So basically what I want to do is move them out. Okay, I think it's minus 200. No. Let's continue moving them out. Just move them out like this. Let's also make sure 1494. 1494. Cool. All right. So here I added something specific, meaning that now that I've kind of prepared myself, why do I need to do this table? Because we want to put all the elements outside the layout and then inside through the parallax animation. Simple as that. Okay. So now step 2 is basically what we're going to do. We're going to right click, add parallax animation. I'm going to select for first the element, right click, and I'm going to see here, add parallax animation. Boom. So I see two things popping out. Okay, so before we do anything, let's stop for a second. Okay, let's analyze the material. Okay, so here, I don't want you guys to be stressed or anything like that. It's actually very, very easy. Okay, so let's analyze. What is exactly the black line? The black line is where the parallax starts. Okay, so basically, when you put the black line at a certain position, it simply means that the top of the website, when it reaches the black line, then your parallax will start. Okay, then you have a blue dotted line. Okay, what is the blue dotted line? Is simply where you're positioning your image, where you're leading your image. Okay, we call this a motion path. Okay, so here you have, now that I apply the parallax animation, we have the black line and then we have the blue dotted line. Okay, also we have what we call speed. If you go on your properties panel, you're going to see the properties of your parallax animation. Okay, of your parallax properties. Simple as that. So speed, it says 1.5 per scroll. Okay, I know a lot of people are sort of confused of what is 1.5 per scroll. Okay, so speed simply means 1.5 per scroll. I'm going to explain right now. Sorry, not supposed to see that yet. So what is exactly 1.5 per scroll? So I did analyze exactly what is 1.5 per scroll. It simply means what is exactly a scroll? Okay, that's the question. What is a scroll? A scroll is, let's say we're considering a block of pixels, okay, and this is a scroll. So if I'm doing 2 per scroll, so it's 2 per this block of scroll. Okay, so if let's say a block of scroll is 10 pixels, okay, if I assign 2, it's going to be twice as fast, meaning it's going to be it's going to scroll down for every 10 pixels, the element will scroll twice. It will scroll 2 pixels. There you go. Okay. So while I'm scrolling, every 10 pixels, it's going to drop 1 pixel. It's going to drop 2 pixels. Okay, simple as that. It's going to move 2 pixels. That's the idea. Okay. Now, based on the research that I had, that I made recently, you see that I checked the browser, because every browser, I thought every browser had different scrolling pixels. So you can see here, I made a table. Everything is the same, obviously, but there you go. So if by any chance you need, if somebody asks you, you have a table here for every browser. It generally goes 17 pixels. It goes 17 pixels. 17 pixels is 1 scroll. Okay. So speed, it's how fast do you want to go, pixels per scroll. A scroll is 17 pixels. Now, effect. The effect, basically, we're going to look at it right now. Okay. If still, I'm on the properties panel. Okay. And I want to add an effect. So I have a bunch of effects. If I click add effect, first of all, you can add more than one effect. So what effect do we want? You can delay before and delay after. I highly suggest going on my YouTube channel and checking out headers, shoulders, knees, and toes webinar, and basically concentrate on these 2 effects. Okay, and you can also see how to make a really killer header. Okay, so go ahead. So I'm not going to review delay after and delay before, because on the previous webinar I covered it. So I have rotate, so I can rotate a certain element. I can make it fade to, which is something that we're going to use a lot, and scale it, meaning making it either bigger or smaller. Okay, so step 2, let's continue. Okay, so before we start, I'm just going to give you the steps right now. Drag your elements outside the layout, which is exactly what we did. Select the element, right click, add parallax animation, position the black line. This is exactly what we're going to do right now. So now this has a parallax animation. So we want the animation to start when we reach the top of this, when the top of my site reaches that black line. So I'm going to start here. Okay, now I want every element to start at the same position, so I'm just going to put a guide here from the top. Okay, this is my blue line here. I'm going to mark it red. Okay, and all my animation will start from here. All my black lines will be there. Okay, so properties. Now the target X and Y is my previous positions that I wrote down, okay, where they were before. So, sorry, I'm just going to go back. Yeah, branding was 0 and 1192. We're looking at web design. Web design is at 500 and 1192. So, 500, 1192. Okay, so let's make this, let's say 3 pixels per scroll. So every 17 pixels, it's gonna move 3 pixels to the left. I'm gonna add an effect, and we're going to make it fade to. Okay, and this is exactly how it works. That's it. If I go on preview, you're gonna see the change. Okay, so remember my line, my red line, my black line, sorry, is right above the freelancer title. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down slowly, and I'm gonna tell you where it starts. Remember, the header, don't take in consideration. It doesn't mean it's the top of my site. My top of my site is really here, where you see my mouse. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, and slowly it gets to the position it was before. Okay, so let's do the same thing on all of them. Let's go back to design. Okay, right click, add parallax animation. My black line will be positioned on my red guide. This is going to be 0 and 1192. There you go. Speed will be 3 pixels per 17 per 17 pixels scroll. Add effect, fade to. Let's add another effect, and let's rotate it to 180 degrees. I like doing that. Let's see on preview. I'm going to scroll slowly, 1, 2, 3, and my scrolling starts, and you can see that my branding is upside down now. Cool. All right. Next, let's do the same thing here. Add parallax animation. Zero, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 1494. 1494. Let's make it 2.5 because it starts at the same time, but it appears after. So I do it slightly. I would even say 2.8. Okay, because a 0.1 pixels makes still a big difference. So I would go with 2.8. Okay, so even though it starts at the same time, I want web development to be 0.2 pixels slower than the branding and web design ones. Okay, add parallax animation. So you can all try this together. I'll send you the site once I finish my parallax animation. So this is 500 and 1494. 2.8, and I think I even forgot to put the effect. So add effect, fade to, and this I can add effect, fade to, and another effect, rotate to 180. Okay, if I go in preview, get ready, 1, 2, 3, and it starts right now. You got it. Okay, I'm going to publish this website and I'm going to send it to you all right now. Okay, just go on the freelancer.weby'nar.com, or you can click the link that I'm sending you at this moment. And let's go back to where we were before. Okay, so we position the black line. Our motion path, the blue dotted line, remember, is set to the previous position that we had before, and the effect fade to 100, which is the most common effect that we use nowadays. And yeah, that's it. So now I want you to imagine what we're going to do right now. Okay, let me just double check. Yeah, works perfectly fine. What we're going to do right now is what we did for every element, we just added one path. Okay, it's from right to left or from left to right. Okay, the fact that we added animation to it, meaning fade to and rotate, this is a different thing. Okay, but the path, the motion is what we did. Okay, this is a normal parallax. So imagine if you had more than one path, meaning that it goes from left to right, and then from right it goes up, and then from up it goes left, and then left down. Basically, you can add as many paths as you want. I personally, I call it parallax animation double time. Okay, so in this example, I wrote down, let's say you have a hamburger menu which follows you down the page as you scroll, but instead of scrolling down in a straight line, it changes position left or right, up or down, etc., etc. So yeah, so our parallax animation in Weby'nar allows you to do that specific thing. So I'm just gonna send you another page, another homepage of mine. Okay, in this homepage, you will see that I added a hamburger menu that is on the top right of that page. There you go. You can test it out. All right. So now basically what I'm doing, I'm going to show you right now. So you can either test it on the link that I sent you, or you can follow me while I'm showing you my screen. So I'm scrolling down slowly, and I can see that my mobile menu right here, it's still clickable, by the way, it's crazy, is scrolling with me. Okay, so I went from right to left, it's going down, and then it's going from left to right, and it's going down, basically. Okay, I managed to stop it here. Okay, so how to do this? It's actually quite simple. Okay, I think we're going to do it together. Okay, so let me just duplicate the home page. We're going to call it Home Parallax together. Let me hide this page also. There you go. Okay, so how it works. First of all, it's exactly the same thing as a normal parallax. The only thing that you're doing is adding a path. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I do want to download this. I deleted the mobile menu by accident. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so we're going to go to our elements panel, drag and drop the mobile menu. Whoops, sorry. Drag and drop the mobile menu. Going to change the mobile menu design. Add background image. Where is it? Is it on downloads? Yes, it's on downloads. There you go. Solid color stroke. I don't want. Okay, I'm just going to put it here for now. All right, so right click, add parallax animation. We want it to start at the beginning, so we're gonna put our black line at the beginning of the page. And basically, what we want the motion to go, let's say here. All right. If I go on my properties panel, okay, the speed is 1.5. Let's say I want 3. Okay. Let's preview it. I normally always preview when I'm testing something. Okay. If I'm testing multiple paths, I'm going to preview it a lot. So let's see. It goes very quickly, actually. And this scrolls. Okay, cool. Let's make it a tiny bit 2.8. Okay. And then let's add an effect. What effect do we want? We want it to rotate 180. Okay. I'm done with that. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see the button here, oops, sorry. By the way, did you know that you can, sorry, if I click here, my menu appears, right? But did you know that I can pin this without pinning the mobile shape here, pin position? See? But this follows me. All right, so I'm going to click here. This is my motion path. I'm going to click on Add Motion Path, and I'm going to see Motion 2 right here. Okay, so what do we want to do? I'm sorry, I'm just going to take this off. Go back and click this back again. This, I wanted to move here. Okay. Make it 2. The effect that I wanted to have is scale to 150, making it 50% bigger. And I'm going to add another effect, and I'm going to, I'll fade 2. I'm going to rotate it to 180, and I'm going to add another motion path. And I'm going to put it here. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put it in the center, like this. Okay. 2.8. All right. I'm going to rotate it at 90. Okay. And I'm going to add another effect, which is scale to 70%. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just letting you know that you can actually do it. So it's just the most basic example that I can give you. But then I would like to show you a website that a client of ours did. And I'm going to show a lot of cool stuff. So add motion path, another motion 4. Okay, we want it to go here. So 3, rotate 90, add motion path. Oh, sorry. So if you click here, you see all the motions that you assigned. Let's stop at motion 5. Let's preview. So my menu is here, by the way. Let's see what I made of it. So it spins, cool. It follows me at the same time it's spinning again. I have no idea why. It's scaling at the same time. You see that my menu is bigger, and then it gets here. Then scales slowly, and boom, voila. Let's see how I did it. So steps, select the element, right click, add a parallax animation, position the black line, the starting line. Okay. The first motion path, anywhere you want. The effect, rotate it, do exactly whatever you want. Motion path 2, same thing. Motion path 3, 4, 5, 6, X. You can put it anywhere you want, and you can make it at a certain whatever effect. I give the example of rotating it. Okay. What I wanted to show you is kind of a good Weby'nar example. Okay. Here, if I remember, I put the 3 parallax. This is not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you a good use of the double time parallax. There you go. Sorry, I'm gonna get to that, to the CMDT, very soon. So this is Maxology. I'm gonna put it here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll and you can see how creative it is. Okay, all you need is a bit of creativity, and you can see that all marketing, branding, website development, and consulting goes to one bin. It drops. And there you go. Okay. Let's continue. 3D parallax. Okay, this is where I wanted to go. So I did a certain example of 3D parallax. Okay, and I'm going to show you right now. And I'm going to show you also a great inspiration about 3D parallax animations that you can copy, use, get inspired from. So yeah, so what exactly is 3D parallax? But 3D parallax is a certain image that moves around in a 3D way on your cursor. Okay, on your mouse cursor. If you move left, it moves left with you. You move right, it moves right with you. So I'm going to show you an example, okay, and I'm going to show you also some cool websites. I think one or two, yeah, a few websites, especially the one that we have here at Weby'nar, the 3D Parallax Weby'nar. Okay, so this is my parallax. So let's go in design, and I'm actually going to recreate it with you. So this is my 3D parallax. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to send it to you again too. Okay, if I move around, so I kind of have this cool effect when I'm moving my mouse around. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. It's the most simplest idea I had. Okay, so have a look. There you go. So what is my 3D parallax composed of? Okay, my 3D parallax is composed of a total of 5 layers. Okay, it has my background image and 4 layers. Okay, if you drag and drop the 3D parallax animation, you're going to see that it has a certain template that you can use, obviously. But if you want to change and just be creative, go ahead. A lot of clients do so. Okay, so have a look. A few notes that I would like to mention. Okay, number one, you need to remember that it's just layers. It's a layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. Okay, so remember that 3D parallax is a composition of layers. Okay, also you can also adjust the size of your layer. Okay, meaning that here it's 25%, but you can see if you look here on the size, you can make it to 100%, taking the whole size of the element itself, because there's the element and what's inside, which is the animation. Okay, also you can, if you see H position, horizontal position from center, or vertical position from center, you can see that you can position your second layer, or your first layer, or your third or fourth layer anywhere you want. Okay. Also, you can check or uncheck the layers to hide them, and then you see level of 3D effect. Okay. It basically goes like that. It goes from 0 to 100. The higher the number, the bigger the effect is. Okay. The minimum is 50 actually. Wow. Okay. This will match the level of movement in the background layer. Okay, I get it. So let's test it out. Okay. Let's make one together. Let's call it 3D together. 3D together. We're also going to hide this page. All right, so number one, basic elements. I'm going to go to galleries. My 3D parallax is located here. drag and drop the 3D parallax. Okay. So here I'm not using a background layer. Okay. So I'm just gonna uncheck it. Now, not this. If I go to, I need to go to my layers, to my Finder. Where is my Finder? There you go, flowers. I can put it here. Okay, so I have a shape, and then I have the text that I saved as an image PNG, by the way, because the background is transparent, called Parallax. Okay, this is the PSD. This is the second flower and the first flower. So let's start. Number one, I like to uncheck everything because it distracts me, and I want to see one layer at a time. I'm sure you do too. Okay, so the first layer is going to be flowers, is going to be my shape. Okay. Wait for a minute. Oh, okay, wonderful. Size, it's set to 25. Let's make it 100%. I want the position to be 0 and the vertical position to also be 0. I can make it big. Okay, so it's going to adapt to my shape, to my element size. Okay, next, I'm done with that. Layer 2. Let's put the first flower. Wait a few seconds. There you go. It's also set to the sizing of 80. I'm going to set it to the size of 100. I'm going to push it up. If I want even more up. H position from center. Now this is horizontal. I just want vertical. There you go. Okay. So layer 2. Layer 3, which is going to be my parallax text. Oh, display layer. Okay, cool. Can I change the size to 120 or do I have to make it 100? No, we can make it 100. Okay, fine. This is good. This is good. Let's keep it to 5. Each position, if I do 10, it's going to go there. Fine, let's try it out. V position, 0. And layer 4. It's going to be my flowers too. Wait a minute. Size 100, obviously. H position 0. V position 2. Level 3D, let's make it 500. Let's exaggerate a bit. Let's go on the preview. This is exactly what it gives you. So it sort of has a nice 3D animation. Okay, and it's composed out of 4 layers. Shape, flower 1, parallax image, flower 2. There you go. So prep, what I needed was either a background image. In this case, I didn't need a background image. I just wanted a shape. I need a text image, and I need flower saved as a PNG image. Why? Because its background is completely transparent. Okay. The steps: drag and drop the 3D parallax element, go to the properties panel, background layer, in my case, none. Layer 1, square shape. Layer 2, first flower. Layer 3, text image. Layer 4, second flower, and just adjust the layer position. Okay. Now I also want to show you 3D Parallax at Weby'nar. Okay, I'm just going to send it to you here. So these are really nice resources. This is something that we did here at Weby'nar. You can see that the 3D text moves. Okay. You can get inspired. You can see this. Okay. Space. And a hand. Okay. You can also check our article on Medium. By the way, this presentation will be sent to you. Okay. A good use of, I wanted to put this as a parallax from one of our clients, Mixology, handmade labor. So this is, as a first step, this is kind of nice. Okay. And of course, if you want a great explanation of the feature, you can go on our Medium blog post that I'm pasting you here, or you can wait until we send this the presentation to you, and you'll be able to do exactly what we did. Okay. So questions. Go ahead. We have plenty of time for questions. Okay, so I already have a good question. Dear Yann, what happens with Parallax Animation when navigating on iPhone or iPad? Great question. At the beginning, I did a webinar um, explaining Parallax Animations, and I explained that, and I something that I didn't know at the time. I can actually animate on tablet and even on iPhone. What you need to do, and please pay attention. Okay, I'm gonna have a webinar hopefully very soon about it. Okay, like a quick recap. Um, let's say on the desktop you have a certain Parallax Animation, right? So you're gonna move to tablet. On tablet you have that same element. Number one, you duplicate the original element within the tablet version. Number two, you're going to hide the original one from tablet, landscape, and mobile. You're going to keep the one that you duplicated. On the duplicated one, you're going to remove the parallax animation and you're going to put it back again. Okay? And then you can put a unique parallax animation on the tablet layout. And you need to repeat this for all parallax elements that you want on responsive designs. Okay, we have a question from Steve. If it works on mobile devices, does it use a lot of data or will it work only on Wi-Fi? No, it doesn't use a lot of data, and it for sure will work on Wi-Fi. It's just two or three lines bigger in code because it has a certain parallax. It depends it depends how many effects you're putting into your parallax animation. Okay, we have another question from Steve. Can it be used to float an advertisement or offer onto the page? For example, click now and save $100, and then click brings the user to a page with a form to complete, or can the actual form be floated onto the page? Both actually, but I wouldn't suggest using that like that. I mean, you can go on MailChimp and you can embed a certain code that MailChimp offers. I hope I'll get the chance to show you all types of integrations that you can actually have on Weby'nar. Basically, when a user, try to imagine this. Imagine a user gets into the website and suddenly there's a pop-up coming in and says, click here if you want to redeem your $100 coupon. They click here and they're led to a page with a form. Simple as that. Or you can have a form popping up, pumping out of the screen, and basically that's it. Or you can also go to get site control through the Weby'nar plugins, and they kind of have this pop-up thingy form that pops out on your phone, tablet, basically wherever you want. I'm just going to show you right now on the screen here. If I go and get site control, this is also a plugin from a plugin that works with Weby'nar. Okay, so these are widgets. So let's say one promo, right? So the promo, you can add it as a pop-up like this. Beautiful and simple widgets. Try for free, and it leads to a sign up wherever you want. Okay. I have another question from Steven. I guess it will work on Android phones. Yes, as long as, let's say you have an element. I'm just going to show you very quickly. Oh, this is 3D Parallax, so home. So I have this element here, right? Okay, I did not make this page responsive for a lot of reasons. If I go here on tablet, okay, this is the same parallax animation. No, bad example. Let's do one element, not a grouped element. Let's do this. If I put a add parallax animation, it means that it is animated. I go to tablet. This parallax animation on desktop only. It tells you that it's on desktop only. Okay, wrong. What you need to do, the trick actually, what you need to do is to duplicate this element within the tablet. Okay, so this is the duplicated one on the left, and the original one is on the right. So the original one, I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to hide it from tablet, landscape, and mobile. Here, which also tells you that its animation is on desktop only, uh, you remove parallax animation. It doesn't show you the option, but you can still do it like this. Now you can add a parallax animation, and there you go. You have an animation within the tablet. Will this work? We have a question from Kavita. Will this work on any hosted platform? Is it restricted to Weby'nar hosting? I'm not sure what you mean by that from Kavita. Weby'nar uses Google Cloud for hosting websites. You can access it from any device or any browser you want. We don't have the feature where you can import a Weby'nar from. You can export the website and put it on your server if you want to, but in doing so, you will need the agency plan, which allows you exporting the site. But you can view the site from wherever you want. Okay, so we have a great question from Mike in regards to smooth scrolling. So smooth scrolling, it's not that we don't have a feature yet. A lot of people they prefer a lot of different types of scrolling. But I guess smooth scrolling is the most common one, the most trending one nowadays. So you can kind of verify this smooth scrolling in many ways. You can do smooth scrolling using the parallax animations, the parallax animations of Weby'nar, or there's also code that you can put in Weby'nar that allows you to scroll smoothly into the website. Now, the one that I'm talking about, the one that you can actually do with Weby'nar parallax animations, is the one that I did recently. Okay, so if I scroll, I wouldn't call it smooth scrolling yet, but it's somewhat similar. I hope it answers your question. But there is code that I'm planning on integrating for having smooth scrolling. I hope that answers the question, Mike. Is Parallax responsive? It's not a question of is Parallax responsive. It's a question if responsive elements work with Parallax. Yeah, exactly. And yes. Okay, we have a question from Wim. I love Parallax, but the window size of the customer determines the amount of scrolling. So basically, the issue that you're having is that it's not adaptive or fluid. Okay, although we are going to have that feature, but that's kind of later on. We're slowly integrating into fluid, responsive, into adaptive also. Um, uh, Adaptive and fluid, it's sort of the same thing. The idea here is that it works on any screen sizes. It's not responsive, meaning that it's not a question of working tablet or mobile or anything like. It's just a question of adapting into all screen sizes, whether you have a huge screen or a tiny screen, and you want the animation to scroll exactly the way that you design it to be. So for now, of course, you need to kind of adapt to the normal, to the majority of screen sizes that we have, which is, I would say, laptops. I would say the ones that we have here. If you want, you can make let's say, I think there is a market research on what is the common screen size that you guys are that people are using, and you can adjust the parallax animation on that screen size. Now, of course, for huge screens, it's not a question of it's not going to work properly. It's just going to stop before. That's it. Okay, question from Jeff. When creating multiple pages, they don't all need to be Parallax only the homepage. You can put Parallax anywhere you want, my good friends. They don't. No, they don't need to be on all pages. They can be only on one page, or it could be on all pages, or it can be on 3 pages. Depends with you. Okay, we have a question from Steven, which I don't quite understand. Can you adjust the size of the result on the desktop view? Can you please explain to me what you mean by that? In the meantime, we have a question from Ricardo, which is a great question. And this is something telling you in advance. It's amazing. Can you copy a parallax effect from one site to another? The answer is unfortunately no for now. However, you can copy a parallax effect from one page to another. Okay. Um, However, although it's not that complicated, with two or three steps, the reason is it depends with your site size and where you want to position it and where you want the black line to appear. So for now, no. We have another question from Steven. Can the result motion path be a different size if it scrolls down the page? Of course. The effect that we're looking at is, I don't know if you saw here, you can see that slowly it's gonna scale to 150, making it bigger. And then I'm gonna scroll down again, making it smaller, and then scrolling again, it's gonna go to be bigger again. See? So yes. All right. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for coming to the webinar. I really had fun. If you have any questions, you can also comment on my on the YouTube channel once it's out. Of course, you're gonna get an email. It was really fun having you in this on this webinar, and hope to see you soon. Well, hope to see you next Tuesday on my next webinar. And if I'm not mistaken, is on how to make a multilingual website. So I'm very excited. And yeah, again, thanks again for coming in. So have a great evening, morning, afternoon, and hope to see you soon.